Hey everybody, Teddy Tonelli here. Before we get into the show, first, big thank you to Eric LiPuma for coming on, taking his time out of running over children to come and talk to us. But as you will come to find out, if anybody knows Jim Walmsley, get him this episode and get him my number because we need to sit down and talk. Otherwise, enjoy the show.
Chasing trail, kicking up dirt, sweating my eyes, but it don't hurt. Fast feet, loose rocks, send it full sail. Ain't no stopping, we chasing trail. Yeah.
Hello and good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. I am Teddy Tonelli, and this is Chasing Trail. And today, we are going to try and vindicate a man from some awful accusations. At the Mesquite Canyon 50K, Eric the Puma was coming into the finish line, and he had an unfortunate encounter with a child. He struck the child. There was a collision, and the entire trail community gasped in horror at what they had seen. And after analyzing the video, we have come to certain conclusions, but Eric was kind enough to give his time, and I'd like to introduce the man of the hour now. Eric the Puma, how are you doing? Thank you for coming on.
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, Teddy. It's great to have an opportunity to tell my side of the story here.
No, absolutely, absolutely. And as we had alluded to in our review, I think that you're innocent. Now the people are going to decide, and I want to hear from you because maybe there's something that I'm not seeing here. It's entirely possible. But we're going to find out. But, first, before we get started into the hard stuff, I wanted to give you a brief introduction because you are a very accomplished runner. You are an athlete for T-Rex. They're shoes. And it's cool because it's named after a dinosaur, I think, which is awesome. But you had last year in May got first place in the Infinitus, I believe it is, marathon, which is absolutely incredible. With in that same year getting a top 10 finish at Black Canyon 100K, which I may need to remind everybody that it was absolutely stacked that year. Was it not the Puma? It was. Now, you know what? Let me stop right there, actually, with this introduction. Do you like to be addressed as the Puma, or is it Mr. Puma?
Mr. Puma's my dad, so the Puma will work.
Yeah, and it's really how did you get that? How did you get that name to be honored with such a majestic animal as your namesake?
That's a good question.
Thank you.
That's just the one. That's just the name that I came with.
Okay, and that's fair. That's fair. Anyway, okay, you know what? We're going to get right into it, Eric. There's a bunch of other accomplishments that you have here. And again, most recently, I think is very impressive is that second place finish at Mesquite Canyon. You came in behind Jim Walmsley, which I may say is one of my heroes. Did you get to touch Jim?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It wasn't the first time, though.
So you've touched Jim. Oh, wow. I am jealous. Is he, okay, look, let me ask you this, real talk. Is he as cool as he seems in person as he is on like the TVs?
Yeah, I can say yes to that, but after I think about it more, with this whole situation with the kid, I think there's a greater conspiracy going on between this kid and Jim.
Oh, wow. See, Puma, I gotta say, I didn't even look at that when I was looking at the video. So let me give the floor to you because I think the people came here to hear from you. They don't want to hear my nonsense. They heard all that yesterday with the analysis. So tell me, what happened that day at the finish line?
So what it looks like on video is that I was coming in at the exact same time that they were starting the little kids race. One little kid decided to run the completely opposite direction he was supposed to, which then caused me to bulldoze him. And who knows how he is. He might never run again.
Yeah.
But I think if you really look into it, because if you really watch the video, that trip actually took 20 minutes. So when when he tripped me, it didn't just take 2 seconds like people were saying. That took 20 minutes for me to then cross the finish line. And coincidentally, Jim beat me by 20 minutes. So I'm thinking that Jim paid this little kid to trip me so that I wouldn't beat him.
Wow. Okay, so I want to take a step back because you said a lot right there that I'm going to have to unpack this little by little, Puma, because look, that's heavy. And I want to say that, number one, I called it because when I was looking at it, I said, I bet you there was a scheduling conflict here. And they did not expect Jim and the Puma to come in so fast. And that's when they scheduled the kids race. And I don't know. The one thing that I am concerned about with this child is that he did not get to start his race. Can you confirm? We do want to know. We're going to get back to Jim and the conspiracy. That's very important. That's huge news. But did the child at least get to run his race, or was his day over?
He did. He was okay. I made sure to check with his dad to make sure I wasn't getting in trouble. But he got to go. He got a little bit of a late start, but I think it was all right.
Okay, and I'm so happy that you cleared this up because we were worried about the child's safety. We reached out to local hospitals and we didn't hear anything, so we were worried. And now that we know, that is great. And again, back to you being vindicated, it's almost like now we need to take that spotlight and put it right back on Jim because I don't know, look, there's child labor laws that people need to recognize here, and we can't have them paying children to run in front of you. And like you said, the 20 minutes. Who's recording this? What kind of high frame rate cameras are we using nowadays to where we could slow it down and make it look like that, Puma? Tell me.
So yeah, Aravaipa, the company who puts on this race, is so big that they have access to cameras that you and I don't. So they can have these kind of time warping cameras that we just don't even know about yet. It uses AI, stuff like that. Things that I'm sure you've heard of. And
can you hold on one second, Puma? Because I need to make a comment to my producer here. Jake, why do we not have these best cameras? Call the people at the Aravaipas and get me a camera. Go ahead, Puma. I'm sorry. Sometimes I have to handle business immediately in the moment. Go.
That's okay. I understand it. So they have these cameras from the future that we don't understand yet. They're about 20 to 30 years in the future. Jamil from Aravaipa, he is connected with some really powerful people, so he has access to this type of stuff. He has access to robots and flying cars and just all that kind of stuff that we don't understand yet. So what they did, they made it look like that I lost by 20 minutes, where in reality it was they kind of warped it with the camera.
This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. And the thing is that when I saw Jamil for the first time, I want to say for the record, everybody needs to know that I thought this is from his hair, Illuminati immediately. It was dead ringer, and like most people don't see it. They say they like peace loving, kind of running, free spirit hippie guy. Nope, Illuminati. Okay, I'm glad.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I actually saw a picture of him with Bob Weir from the Grateful Dead at Bohemian Grove at one of those kind of like Illuminati parties where they burn the giant owl.
Yeah. I'm gonna get our people out. So we were able to find the video from Aravaipa pretty quick. So I'm pretty sure that we're gonna be able to track down these videos of Jamil and the owls. So we are gonna get on that. And I'm glad you brought this up. We're gonna dig deeper into the Jim conspiracy as well. Jim Walmsley, if you're listening to this, I know you don't do podcasts a lot because you're really busy with all your shoe commercials and things like that. But if you want to come on and address this, you could come on. If you want to be brave like the Puma, you come on here and you talk to Teddy. Because if you don't, you're a coward, Jim. You're a coward. Anyway, I feel bad for you, Puma, though, because the thing is that when you have these types of conspiracies that are against you, these people that are at the very top, they're hard to beat. And you can run as hard a races as you ran and still come up short. And that is a tragedy.
Thank you. I agree.
Yeah, okay. We're going to get into some other questions here. And now that we've addressed the fact that the child is alive, he's okay. He was able to run his race. That is fantastic. I want to know, what's the wildest animal encounter that you have ever had when you was out on the trails? Like, what's the craziest thing that's happened with animals? Because everybody knows that Teddy loves animals. Tell me.
That's a good question. I probably have some good ones that I can't think of, but I think the scariest animals to see are like a moose or something. We see bears all the time out here, but they're just cute little black bears. They don't do too much. So yeah, probably a moose. I guess I don't really see too many cool animals out here. We have too much wilderness. They just have places to hide.
Yeah, so many places to hide. It's like because where Teddy grew up is we had zoos, so we was able to go to the zoos and they keep them locked there, and they don't look happy, but you get to see them. I don't really like zoos anymore, but that's fine. And yeah, moose. The one thing that I've always been wondering about is that what is the real plural of moose? Is it mooses? Because I think it should be.
I think it's moose eye.
Oh, yeah, no, that makes sense. Okay, I think I read that in biology. You're right. Okay, next question, Eric the Puma. If you had to replace your race nutrition with a fast food, what would the fast food of choice be?
Probably French fries. Maybe from... Oh, yeah, it would definitely be the curly seasoned French fries from Roy Rogers.
What is a Roy Rogers?
I think it's like a cowboy themed fast food place. We have them, or maybe they don't even exist anymore, but we had them when I was a little kid.
Okay. Now, that brings me to another question. And I made a comment, and I want to say I didn't mean in any disrespect. It was that you're from Vermont, and you look like you should be like stuffing coyotes and rabbits and stuff for people on the side doing the taxidermy thing. And is that like a Vermont thing? Is that like you all kind of look like the Ben and Jerry's?
Yeah, it's definitely a Vermont thing that we all kind of look a little silly. I do want to clear up that I am actually from New Jersey. But I just live in Vermont now. So it's maybe a little bit of a combo. I got two different things going on.
Yeah, Teddy's originally from New Jersey. That's amazing. Where are you from?
Midland Park. It's up in Bergen County.
Yeah.
Near Paramus.
Oh, of course. Yeah, no, I'm very familiar with Paramus. Okay, no, that's very good. Now... I'm gonna have to visit a Roy Rogers because I've never been to them. I've been to McDonald's, and their French fries are pretty good. So I would.
Yeah, they're okay. They're not curly.
They're not curly, and maybe McDonald's does something about that. I don't know. We'll see. All right, next question. Would you rather have a pair of damp socks on or a pebble in your shoe for an entire race? Hold on, don't answer yet. You're getting ahead of yourself. I have more. My lord, is it? And we're gonna say it's 100K because it's longer. Go ahead.
What kind of socks are
these? These are damp socks. Damp, like they are.
Oh,
yeah, they're
socks.
Wet. Sorry, sometimes I have a hard time with the talking.
It's because you're from New Jersey. We don't talk
well.
It's damp socks. I mean, in Vermont, it's like it rains all the time, so my socks are damp anyway.
That makes sense. You get used to it.
Easy.
Easy. Yeah. Okay, this guy. I like it. You make it easy on Teddy. Okay. Now, next question. This one's a little bit hotter. If trail running didn't exist, what silly hobby would you have?
I've been playing a lot of Magic the Gathering, like the card game, and I'm pretty good at that. So I'd probably put some more time into playing that game. Maybe play it more in real life. I play online all the time. So yeah, I think I'd play more Magic cards.
Okay. So like some of like the nerdier stuff.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, I like that.
Which is interesting, Eric, because people always have this idea that like nerds aren't athletic, but here you are, like total nerd. And you are fast as lightning.
If people think that, I think they should look at most college cross-country teams because they're filled mostly with losers.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily call them losers. You could say that. I can't say that. I was never on cross country.
I'm saying that.
Yeah, it's one of those rules. You know what I mean? Okay. Yeah. No. Okay. I mean that's fair. But at the same time, I do still think it's derogatory, and I do think that you are breaking norms, and it's very brave of you for doing that. It's incredible. Now, we've been talking a lot about all of your misgivings and you bulldozing children and all the sorts of stuff. But what I want to talk about is some of the projects that you maybe have coming up. Some big races. I noticed that you're coming to Broken Arrow Teddy's gonna be there. I'm gonna say hi. I'm gonna wave at the Puma when you come by. But you're going to Broken Arrow 46K. Is that the biggest thing you got? What else you got going on? Tell the people about the Puma schedule.
I'm doing Canyons 100K as well. And I think there's a runner who looks a little bit like you. Who maybe you guys are related, but I think he's maybe doing the 100K as well.
Don't tell me. Is it Michelino?
I think his name's... Yeah, it's Little Mike.
Yeah.
Little Mike Sunseri.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people been calling him Little Mike. And here's a funny story, actually, Eric. I'm going to point this out to you because I wasn't going to mention it because he's having his time in the sun with his Grand Teton FKT. I don't know if you heard about it or nothing. First of all, I want to point out that no, we are not related. We look like we're related. I know his brother very well, but we're not related. In fact, Michelino has dodged coming on this podcast to talk about the FKT. Now, they just dropped a trailer conveniently. Right when I asked them, they just dropped a trailer on his FKT. And then now he tells Teddy, I can't come on.
I think he got a little bit too big for his britches.
Yeah, I'm thinking that too. I'm thinking that his head's a little bit too big. I'm thinking it's a little bit too big.
Yeah.
And people are trying to keep him out of jail right now. Maybe what he needs to do is go to jail to humble him a little bit.
I think so too. And I think put him in a jail in New Jersey versus a jail in Wyoming. I think the Wyoming jail would be a little bit too soft.
Yeah, no, I think you're 100% right because I've seen he's actually originally from California and they're soft. He's a softie. He goes to New Jersey. The Puma, I'm telling you, they're gonna eat him up like breakfast.
I agree.
Yeah, incredible.
They're going to be upset that he's not from Jersey because he's got a great New Jersey last name too.
Yeah, and they're gonna know. Anyway, here's the thing, Michelino. You want to come on? You know, you could come on. It's fine, whatever. But look, let's get back to you. So Canyons, yeah. Look, I think you're gonna probably do great. I think the last time you ran Canyons, if I'm not mistaken, you got was it in 2022? You got third place, I believe it was. But then last year, something happened last year where you got like 17th. So you like really fell off. What happened? How are we going to correct that this year?
I don't know what happened last year. I felt really tired the whole time, which, you know, that just happens sometimes. Yeah, you know, that was a bad one. That was a really long day. I got poison oak afterwards. And like, it's okay at Canyons if you get poison oak if you win, because then it's just part of the game. But if you kind of suck and then you get poison oak, it's not that great. So what I'm thinking is that this year, and I know this is hard to understand, I'm going to try to do better than I did last year.
Okay. And
that's kind of the strategy.
I like that strategy. I do. I think that's good. I think doing better is good. And the thing what you were looking to say was insult to injury. That's what the poison oak thing was when you don't win. Because the thing is that everybody.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Okay. I'm glad we cleared that up too. So I what I'm worried about this year with Canyons is the weather. I think that we're looking at maybe record temperatures. Now, I'm not a meteorologist, but I've just been seeing how much snow we've been seeing. And I don't think there's a lot of snow.
I'm hoping there's a lot of snow.
I do too, Eric. I do too. All right, what else do you got coming up besides Canyons?
That's pretty much it. I mean, I'm assuming I'm going to win Canyons, so then I'm going to run Western States.
That naturally, yeah, that's the progression usually.
Yeah, and as long as people don't send little kids onto the course, I'll probably win that as well.
You know what, though? Here's the thing. Jim's coming back this year, so we're going to have to watch out for children on the track, everybody. I'm going to get some eyes out there because I'm going to be out at Western States this year, too. And I'm gonna be on the lookout for these kids.
I would appreciate that because I've considered hiring my own bodyguards, but it would be a lot cheaper if maybe you just kind of stood around and, you know, made sure no kids were.
Yeah, no, absolutely. If I'm by the finish line and I see a little one coming up, I'm going to punt them right out of the way. I'm kicking that kid. So that way there's going to be zero confusion about what's going on, why Teddy's there. I'm here to protect the sport. You know, back when baseball had the steroid problem, we have a rogue child problem, but it's being facilitated by one of the leaders in the sport. So what are we going to do? That's the only thing Teddy could do is resort to, I think you were right for bulldozing that child. I'm taking it all back. You were right.
I appreciate the support on that.
Yeah, I know you didn't mean
Because
it.
there's a lot of there's a bunch of famous ultra runners, who I'm friends with who won't support me in this. They kind of turned their back on me after I bulldozed that child.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I had to walk away and get a breath really quick because I was getting heated there. I need more people to come out and support people like you and realize that that's the cornerstone that what makes us strong. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself and I'm getting ramped up here, Eric. So, so we got Broken Arrow. We're going to run Western States, and we're going to be on the lookout. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. I'd like to give you the last word. Eric, do you want to share anything with the people before we sign off today?
I'd like to show everybody my tiny dog.
Okay, yeah, I'll just wait.
Is that okay?
Like, is it actually like a tiny dog, or are you about to do something really weird?
I'll show you.
Oh boy, everybody, watch out. Here comes a tiny dog. I cannot guarantee this is not gonna have to be bleeped out. Okay, hold on. What is his name?
This is Hazel.
Hazel. Is Hazel a girl or a boy?
Hazel's a girl.
Oh, Hazel. That's great. New addition to the family, I'm assuming.
We've had her for a while.
Okay. It looks like a puppy. How long is a while?
She's like 4.
That's a 4-year-old dog?
Yeah, look how cute she is.
Oh my gosh, it's tiny. Wow, I mean, absolutely adorable. I'm not gonna lie, but 4 years old and it looks like a baby. That is incredible. I'm gonna need to get on the skincare routine of Hazel. That's all I gotta say. Okay, well, thank you, Eric, and thank you for sharing Hazel with the people. We are so happy to have you on and to clear everything up. Until next time, everybody, I'm Teddy Tonelli with Chasing Trail. Eric, thanks again. Teddy, out.
Chasing trail, kicking up dirt, sweating my eyes, but it don't hurt. Fast feet, loose rocks, send it full sail. Ain't no stopping, we chasing trail.